So with that happy note, with that vast experience, give us a brief about the introduction to the savings, basically how savings is going to help. So over to you, Veera, for have a beautiful presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Ah,
And thank you so much for the opportunity. Is the recording on, sir?
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
It's on. Okay. We have 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, we will do the presentation, and then also have a after 30 minutes, we'll have a few minutes for interaction. Even you can finish it by 25 minutes, and then we will have an interaction. We'll have any question answer sessions. Yeah.
So good morning, everybody. Once again, thank you so much for this opportunity. So this week 5, we are going to see about savings and emergency fund, how this emergency fund is going to help us in times of emergency, and what are the different kinds of emergencies that we can have in life, and all those things we'll be discussing today. So I'm a chartered financial practitioner and a fintrepreneur, an entrepreneur working in the financial sector. So we started this in 11th February 2005. So 21 years we have completed in this industry, and we've just started in the 22nd year. And as a first step in this work anniversary, so within 4 days, we got this opportunity to share this information with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again to all the organizers. Thank you, BrainCity. Thank you, all the organizers. So the importance of savings. Now, everyone, this habit of saving has been ingrained in us by our parents, by our ancestors, by our grandfathers, our grandmother. Everyone has been continuously saying, and India has been a very big nation, which is growing strong. It is strong in economy because of this habit of savings and investment. And this savings, it creates safety for us, safety for our family. It gives us a sense of security and also the peace of mind. Now, peace in mind is very important. Mana amaidi da romba mukyam. When there is peace in mind, then we can do all the things easily, effortlessly. And why do we need an emergency fund? Because COVID was the biggest example for us. Throughout the world, people who had savings, people who had emergency fund created already, they were able to come out of COVID initial lockdown period and all. They were able to come out of it easily because they had this emergency fund ready in their hand. So we need to have at least 6 months or 3 to 6 months, minimum at least 6 months of monthly expenses we need to have in a separate emergency fund, so that whenever there is a stoppage in the funds, in the income, then definitely that time this emergency fund will help us. உடுக்கை இழந்தவன் கை போலே ஆங்கே இடுக்கன் களைவதாம் நட்பு. This quote by Thiruvalluvar in Thirukural. So just like how a person is getting help when there is a small thing in the dress, then automatically like that, this emergency fund will also help us in our life when there is any emergency. Example again, COVID, or so this will help us avoiding borrowing from others, because we need to create our own corpus fund. We need to have our own emergency fund, and once we start creating this emergency fund, that will also help us in it will boost us. It will give boost to our confidence also. Peace of mind is there, confidence is there, and we can be self-reliant. We don't need to depend on others also. So what are the different ways we can do this? So how we have to do it? And this one formula you have to keep in mind, we have to keep in mind is regularity is the key to wealth creation. Regularity is the key to emergency savings fund. Anything for that matter, whether it is doing exercise, whether it is doing pranayama, whether it is doing taking care of the relationships, in every place, regularity is important. If we do things regularly, if we do things daily, if we do things weekly, if we do things monthly, if anything that we do regularly, it will help us in the long run. So that is the regularity is the key to wealth creation. That is the most important thing. And how we can save very small amounts we can save. So we can use that in Tamil we say undiyal. So we can keep that small money pot in the house and keep saving regularly. And we can create our liquid fund. In mutual funds there is a concept called as liquid fund. So there we can park our money. So very small amount we can just transfer from our bank account, and only thing we have to do is be consistent. So whether it is maintaining the physical health, whether it is maintaining the mental health, or whether it is maintaining the financial wealth, financial health of a person, in everywhere regularity is important. So we should do it consistently, and if we do it consistently, we can grow in all the three areas. And this is the formula that we have to follow in our life. Income minus savings minus investment equal to expenses. Well, as soon as we get the income for the particular month, on the first of the every month, we are getting the income. So first thing what we have to do is save for short term in savings, invest for long term in investment. And once these two things are done, we'll keep the remaining fund for the expenses for that whole month. So what we have to do is budgeting is very important. So we need to know what are the regular expenses. Sometimes income always comes in small things, but expenses will come as bunches, big amount. Sometimes we have to pay the school fees or a big premium. Sometimes it comes in annual mode. So that time the expenses come in bunch in big, but whereas the income comes in small amount every month. So we have to plan for those things. So we have to create RDs if we want, and by these methods we can start saving for the emergency. We can start saving for short-term purpose, and we have to create wealth for the long term also. So for that we need to do investment, and there is always a difference between savings and investment. Savings is for short term, investment is for the long term. And when we go for long term, we can always take a little bit of risk depending on the age. So we can go a little bit into equity, that is share market, shares. We can use mutual fund equity schemes in mutual funds. We can also have a little bit of balance fund also. So all those things can be used. There are different types of financial tools available for creating this emergency fund and for and saving for the long term. So we'll use all those things. And this avoiding this impulse buying is very important. When we go out for shopping, we need to have a list of what we need exactly. So if we go and see in the kitchen, we can find out what are the things that is in short, and we'll find out what we need to buy. So if we create a list, if we create a shopping list, and then with that list, if we go to the supermarket, then we will buy only what is needed. We will not buy what is there available there in the shop as offers. Buy one, get one free. Buy two, get three free, or something like that. We will not be indulging ourselves in those kind of offers. We will stick to the list that we have, and we will buy only those things. And whenever we feel like buying something, just postpone the decision by at least 24 hours. This is one very simple formula which I have been following. If we just postpone the decision by 24 hours, within that 24 hours time, we will get some more clarity on what we are going to buy and whether it is very urgently needed or whether we can postpone it for the next month. And if at all this is urgent, means is it going to be so very essential for my business, or whether it's going to be essential for my family, running my family for the current month. So we can find out that if we just delay it by just 24 hours, we can find out whether it is really needed or whether we are giving in to the impulse. So based on the offers that is see outside, everyone will give offers. Today is the last day. Today you have to buy. Today is the last date. So everyone will be forcing to sell their products on us, forcing their services on us. but we should not give in to that impulse, and we should just be calm, relax ourselves, postpone the decision by 24 hours, and then decide and discuss with the family member also, especially discuss with the spouse, and then decide whether it has to be bought immediately or whether it can be postponed for 15 days or next month, or whether it can be even sometimes postponed for 6 months also, depending on the kind of need that we have for that particular product. Sir, do you have any questions, sir? Prasad, sir?
No, I just wanted to add to what you shared. The distinguishing between need and want.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, the need is something that we cannot do without,
Yes.
and want is something, like you mentioned, if we can hold our buying decision for 24 hours and really do a, I don't know whether to call it due diligence or something, that it is really required, as you mentioned, without which it will impact on our quality of life. Only then we can go ahead with the purchase, or we can defer it, so that we'll not have the regret of buying something which was an impulsive decision. Thank you, Viren. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. So we call it TYFS. Thank you for sharing, sir. And save first, spend later. So we will use this formula. We will ingrain this formula into our mind. We will ingrain this formula in our daily habits, and then we will avoid this impulse buying. And by this, we will be able to, by postponing this, we will actually save money, save a lot of money also sometimes. And sometimes what will happen is, if it is a very urgent product and if it is something very urgently needed, means it's a need that has to be fulfilled immediately. If that is the case, what will happen is our mind will help us to find that product, and within the 24 hours, we will even get some offers also from some other place. If we do a comparison online, we may find some other places which are giving the same product, same quality, everything same, but at a lesser price, at some discount also, there is some offer also. So if it is very essential, and if it is if we have to buy it immediately, then within the 24 hours, the universe will help us to find some discounts and offers also. So this way we will save money here also, and this saving we can use it to create our emergency fund also. So reflecting back on this, when to start? We always learn a lot. Buddhi kolmudal. It is always we are learning many things. We are accumulating many things, and we are storing everything. But when are we actually putting things into action? So when is the right time to start doing it? So it is always now is the right time to start anything. So we will start today. We'll start this week onwards. So this February 15th, and this is a very auspicious day today, Mahashivaratri. So this habit we will start today itself. We'll create our emergency fund. We'll do our long-term planning for the long-term investment. We will also plan for creating this corpus fund or emergency fund, and we will stay committed to this. Once we create that financial plan for the future, whether it is for contingencies or emergencies, or whether it is for a long-term investment, whatever plan we create, financial plan, we will stick to it, and always have a partner or an advisor, or someone with whom you can have an accountability partner, like someone with whom you can discuss and create your financial plan, and we'll be committed to that particular thing, and we'll start doing that thing right now, right away, right today. And today being this auspicious day, so this today will be a very good opportunity to start this particular process also. And what we have to do is, once we start doing it, every month, every fortnight, we have to review it. So sometimes it will not be possible for us to review every fortnight, but at least every month we have to sit with our spouse, and we have to discuss all the things. And sometimes we need to even discuss and tell the outcome of this particular discussion with all the members of the family also. So this month our family has got income this much. This month we have got expenses this much. So we'll have to do savings also. We'll have to do investment also. We'll have to do so many expenses for the family. And sometimes there may be a sudden commitment, like a marriage may be there in the next month, or we may have to do some, we may have to buy some expensive gifts or some things like that. So we need to plan for all those things also. So creating a financial plan, staying committed to it, doing it right away, and start doing it immediately, and reviewing that thing also is very important, because only when we review, we will know whether we are going in the right path, the right track, and whether we need to improve, increase it, or whether we need to decrease it. All those things we can come to know only if we review the things. So review is also very important. We will do that also. And when it comes to emergency, this emergency can come in any form. I told one example about what happened when COVID came, lockdown came, when people were not able to. Some people who had a monthly income coming in every month, so those people, they did not find it very any difficulty in managing the financial part. But some people for whom this lockdown created a stoppage of income. So for those kind of people, definitely this emergency fund is very important. And this emergency can come in any form. Sometimes it may be due to, as let's say, due to some accident also. So there may be a small disability, like, for temporary disability, not able to move the hand or leg for say 15 days or 1 month or something like that. So this any kind of emergency can come at any time. So when that kind of emergency comes, the financial peace should not be disturbed in the family. So for that kind of things also, for that kind of situations also, we need this kind of emergency fund. So this emergency fund can be created as an FD, or you can keep a separate account for savings account, separate savings account also, or you can keep it in a liquid fund. There is today everything is done electronically. Today everything can be done online. So you can just transfer money from our savings, from our main savings account to the liquid fund in the mutual fund. So anything, any kind of option can be used, or we can do some regular RD also. If we fix the amount, then we can do 1 year RD. So that will also help us to create this kind of emergency fund. And this is one example that I told for emergency. So normally there can be some other kind of emergencies also. So something this one due to accident, or sometimes the emergency may be very catastrophic also. Maybe it may be like, a small disease, or sometimes maybe discovery of a big health problem also. So for those kind of things, we always need to have insurance. So mediclaim or health insurance is very important. So everyone has to take a health insurance for the whole family. We have individual plan, we have floater plan. So floater plan will help us to cover all the members of the family. Let's say there are 2 adults and 2 children. So husband, wife, 2 children, we will cover everyone with, say, at least minimum. In India, at least we need minimum of 10 to 25 lakhs at least in India. So right now, we can plan for that kind of health insurance plans. Most of the if we are employed people, sometimes the company also offers the health insurance plan. But even if there is a health insurance offered by the company, sometimes what happens is it is for a lesser amount, say 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs. So that may not be sufficient for emergencies, facing the emergency situations. So for in those situations, we need to have our own health insurance plan that is taken exclusively for the family members separately, not what is given by the employer. So we need to have separately also. And if we are self-employed, then there is no other option. Definitely, we have to buy that health insurance plan. And today, there are lots and lots of opportunities and different varieties of products available. So we can sit and discuss it with a health insurance planner, and we can find out what kind of product is required for the family, and we can accordingly buy the product, take what kind of riders what we need to have, depending on the situation and depending on the age, whether it's newly married or whether already uh, kids are born. Depending on analyzing all the situations, we can find out which plan will be suitable for us. So these are different kinds of emergency situations that can come in life, and how we can use it. So having a term insurance for the main breadwinner of the family. If there are 2 breadwinners, then definitely both of them need term insurances. And health insurance is very important. And similarly, personal accident insurance plan. PA policy, we call it personal accident insurance. So that is also important because that will take care of any emergencies in any emergency due to any accident. So if there is any temporary disability, a fracture or something like that, if there is a loss of income for a short period, let's say 1 month or 2 months, so the insurance company will transfer on a weekly basis, they will give money to the family. So that kind of option is there. So we need to look into all these kind of options, and based on these things, we need to have on one side we need to have insurance plans, and on the other side we need to have emergency fund like in either FD or RD or in liquid funds, in mutual funds. So these are different kinds of options that we have. These are different kinds of emergencies we will be facing, and we should not always rely on others. We should try to avoid borrowing from others, and we should create our own emergency fund. And wherever possible, if it is possible to transfer the risk to another person or another company as such, that is when insurance comes into picture. So risk transfer, risk retention, two kinds of things are there. So certain kinds of risk, we have to transfer it to the company. So that is where we go in for life insurance, term insurance plans. That is where we go in for health insurance plans, and that is where we go in for personal accident insurance. So now these are that is risk transfer. We are transferring the risk to the another entity, and for that we pay a small amount as premium. So sometimes we can retain certain risk. So that is small emergencies, like say 50,000 or 1 lakh, small emergencies. So for those kind of things, we can create our own emergency corpus. Slowly we have to build that thing. Sometimes we need to have at least 3 to 6 months, and if we can create a 1 year corpus, 1 year emergency fund, then that will actually give us a very big boost also. But all these things we have to do it slowly, consistently. If we start doing this, then definitely we can always create this fund easily. So once we do all these things, what will happen is this peace of mind will come automatically. Aram se we can do everything. This mental well-being will also be taken care. Once this finance is created, once this financial plan is there, once we stick to that financial plan, and once we start doing it, implementing it, and once we keep reviewing it, when all these things go in order, so any kind of emergency situation we can face. So this will actually create a sense of security. This will provide us safety, and this will also create a peace of mind for all the members in the family, especially on the two main people, the husband and wife. So this is very important, and I'll just share one important formula also. Husband and wife, they have to sit together, discuss the budgeting for the family, and then create the financial plan and do it continuously, consistently. And கணவனுக்கு தெரியாமல் மனைவியும் மனைவிக்கு தெரியாமல் கணவனும் பொருள் ஈட்டவோ சேர்க்கவோ கூடாது. That is, without the knowledge of each other, husband and wife should not earn money, should not save money, should not spend money. There should always be a clarity. There should always be a sharing of information between both of them. So this will actually create a sense of calmness and peacefulness in the family. And we can plan for any kind of emergencies if we do all these things. So thank you so much. We'll have some question answers now. So anyone would like to...
Please share the last slide. Yeah.
Sir, I'll share my number and I'll share my LinkedIn profile and YouTube channel ID also. I'll send it as a text message, as links in our group also. So you can have it. Hey, questions, please.
Yeah, thank you, Veera. Thank you for a very concise presentation on why we need to save, why we need to invest, and why we need to have an emergency fund, and the importance of insurance. very clearly explained. Thank you very much. Yeah, Murugesh sir wanted you to display the last slide, which from your presentation.
Importance of savings. Importance of savings you wanted, Murugesh sir?
No, the last slide only. I have not taken the screenshot. I just was okay.
Sir, I'll send
This
that
one?
whole PPT, sir. I'll send the whole PPT in the group, so you can.
Okay.
And there is one more thing called as financial pyramid. I'll send that also. So that financial pyramid will help us to know how we can keep the emergency fund. What are the different kinds of layers that is there in the thing. So that actually we shared in the COVID starting period also. That time also when I shared that presentation, that time I had shared it. So this time also I'll send it. So that will give you more clarity. So I'm looking out for questions now.
Yeah. Any questions? Anybody is having any questions? Now, please raise.
So this
I
formula.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, Pandya, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Or
Meanwhile, I will ask a question, sir.
Sir, I have two questions, sir. One is like, okay, the emergency fund. Okay, for example, when I started, sir, I listen your presentation long year back, the pyramid. So I have done everything, but what I did is I forget to do the emergency fund. Okay. Other than that, I done term insurance after the health insurance, everything they done. But what happened then later? I started building parallelly. I'm building emergency fund. But whenever the I lost my job and I got my another job. So between that, I tried to break my mutual fund everything. So emotionally, I couldn't able to fulfill my 3 months or 6 months. Whatever happened, again I'm taking my money. Again I'm taking my money. So I couldn't able to fulfill my uh, emergency fund. So is there any other way to do that? That is one. And second thing is you telling like share everything to the wife. Okay, so that you should not earn or you should not spend. But the point is I can share, sir, but she's asking more questions, sir. Okay, that is my problem, sir. If I not tell anything, she won't ask question. Okay. If I tell everything, she's asking more question than my boss. So how to tackle that? Thank you.
She is the boss actually. First thing we have to understand is she is the boss of the family. Uh, Definitely we have to share everything with her. And this formula, what I told, கணவனுக்கு தெரியாமல் மனைவியும் மனைவிக்கு தெரியாமல் கணவனும் பொருள் ஈட்டவோ பொருள் சேர்க்கவோ அதாவது செலவு பண்றது, all those things, it was actually told to me by Vedatri Maharishi. It's a very powerful statement, very powerful thing, because the whole family is grounded on these two people, husband and wife. And when there is no sharing of information, when there is no clarity or no truth between those two people when it comes to finance, that will actually disturb the mental peace in the family. And when any situation comes, it'll just flare up as a big fight also. So we need to avoid that situation. So that's why we always share things. And when it comes to creating that, another question which you asked, creating that emergency fund, sometimes we may have to dip into our savings, which we have created for the long term also. So that is, investing in, we may have created some SIPs and for a long term wealth creation. So when there is no emergency fund, we may have to dip into that. So that will disturb it will create some kind of problem for us. So to avoid all those things, what we have to do is parallelly we have to do savings for the emergency fund, and parallelly we have to create wealth for the long term. Both the things have to go in two parallel tracks. And when it comes to creating these kind of things, we should not rely on one single income. We have to create multiple streams of income. And today there are lots and lots of options available for creating multiple streams of income. There are opportunities available to create a second line of income, third line of income, passive income, we call that. So once we create that passive income is very big. Once that slowly that passive income builds up, and if it becomes a big value, we can become financially free also. So financial freedom will come exactly once our monthly expenses, if it is taken care of by our investments. So we can use different options like, everyone should have a demat account and buy shares. Everyone should invest in mutual funds to create wealth for the long term, because we are not we are not big managers. We do not have the experience to sit and analyze various kinds of stock performances. Not everyone has the time, not everyone has the knowledge. So we can transfer that opportunity to the fund managers. So they are experts, they do it for individuals. So we need to look into that option also. And when it comes to creating alternate sources of income, you can tie up with people who are promoting products and services or conducting online training programs, online workshops. You can tie up with them. You can be a, you can market their products or services, and you can get a incentive commission from them. So that kind of options are available. So these are multiple options that we can do for creating extra sources of income. And there are many more ideas also. I will share all those things in the group also.
Sir, yes, sir. I have one question, sir.
Thank you, Veera sir. We are very happy to hear from you various aspects of savings and emergency fund, etc. Thank you very much, sir. I have information to our group members that Veera sir is a member of SKY, the Simplified Kundalini Yoga. You
Yes, sir.
mentioned about Vedadari Maharshi, and
Yes,
I think we should request him for a class in our spiritual day.
Yes.
About
Definitely.
okay.
Sir, I actually focus on three important areas, sir. Individual peace, family peace, world peace. And for an individual to have individual peace, we need good health. தனி மனித அமைதி. அதுக்கு என்ன தேவை அப்படின்னா,
Many people may not understand Tamil.
that I'll do it in English. That is உடல் நலம், good health. உயிர் வளம், that is longevity. Then பொருள் வளம், that is financial abundance, financial wealth. And then நட்பு நலம் and குண நலம், that is having good relationship and creating good things. பொருள் வளம், நட்பு நலம், குண நலம். At last, understanding who we are in this nan-yar, who am I? So understanding who am I and how I'm part of this big cosmic universe. So those kind of things we can focus on that. So definitely I'll take part in that spiritual thing also. So give me an opportunity in that space also. I'll give a talk on that also.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Viraji, it is a very, very important thing. It is not how much we earn, how much you save. Because from your success we learn, even by setback also people can learn. Because whenever we are having everything, we are having all the facilities, and we think it will be happen. Immediately something happen, and immediately that stability is not there, security is not there, and we cannot share with others also. So this emergency fund, and these are all the main one. And one more point, maybe in the next one you can add, avoiding the credit card. Because when I was the vice president level, at the top level, the company closed, and even with 20 rupees every day we spend, because I don't want to tell everybody my company closed, everything. So what I want to communicate, mean, any breakdown, it will not come and clearly it will inform. So that is the way it is amazing. And I would like to get your support in the spiritual also, because spirituality, it is not that going to the temple and the rituality only. That energy should be balanced in all the 7 areas. So I will call you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Acharya. Over to you, Sarath.
Thank you, Arjun. Arjun
Yeah,
has
I
posted an
have a
important
technical
message.
question. What is you talked about liquid fund? What is liquid fund, and how to initiate or do something like that? Because emergency means it should be liquid fund, not
Yes, yes.
like stock or something. That's is my understanding. So
Yeah,
if
thank you.
you, yeah.
Thank you for that question, Mr. Sharath. So liquid fund is one part of mutual funds. Mutual funds can be classified as liquid fund, debt fund, balance fund, equity fund. And liquid fund has got the least risk, very, very least risk. There is, in fact, there is almost like there is no risk at all. So it is like having a savings account only. So this liquid funds, you can start investing very easily from your own bank account. Today, there are a lot of options. Today, there are a lot of apps through which you can do that KYC. Any kind of mutual fund investment, you need to do the KYC using your PAN card and Aadhaar card. So once that KYC is done, you can start investing in liquid funds. You can start investing in debt funds. You can start investing in balance fund, or you can start investing in equity schemes. And now we have many more options also. PMS has become a part of this mutual funds where the minimum investment itself is coming to 20 lakhs. So there are lots and lots of options are there. There are gold exchange traded funds, ETF, something called as ETF. So if we have a one more session exactly on the topic of mutual funds, so I'll be able to share more information on mutual fund topic alone.
Yeah,
And
we will have one more session on.
Is it better than FD and RD? Like, see, FD and RD, is it better than
That,
any way?
sir,
in
I
some
want to
ways,
stop here. I wanted to stop here. So we will discuss in detail, sir, when we have a separate discussion. Where now we have to move forward. The liquid fund, regarding the liquid fund, Mr. Veera will be specifically. We will have an exclusive on the mutual fund, Sarath. And
Okay.
at that time, we can have the detailed discussion. In addition to that, you have a number of Veera in our group. You can call him and then ask him what exactly so the details. In the interest of the time, we will move ahead. Sarath, okay?
Yes, no problem.
Yeah, over to Murli, sir.
It's a very good one. It's a very informative one. The thing is that, especially Parnas sir also asked the same question. See, some especially females, they don't have much knowledge about investment, especially regarding the stocks. Sometimes that's see because of this corona or because of the Russia-Ukraine war, there is huge loss who are invested in now.
Suddenly, and I think
Yeah, some network issue with Dr. Murli. Yeah, Arjun, you can go ahead. Arjun.
Yeah, hi, sir, sorry, I just
Just come back.
joined now. To keep it,
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Murli, you can please go off video. There's seems to be some network bandwidth issue.
Yes, sir.
Now you can ask.
You can continue with your question.
Yes, sir. So what happens, especially with our better off, they won't be knowing much knowledge about the investment, especially during stocks and all. The ups and downs are common. So once it is down, means they will sit on your head and they won't allow you to do any of the investments, and they are into only gold, nothing else. So some of my friends, they don't disclose their income. They just investment everything to their bet of. They tell only 50% of it. Otherwise, they won't allow. Or something goes loss, they will hit. See, more than the loss at of the money, financial loss, the questions as Pandan told, or the irritations, the everyday things they ask now, that will be much more differential. That much more irritative. So, what's your take on that, sir? Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Can you just repeat the last portion of your question?
Dr. Murli is speaking from his personal experience, I think. Disclosing everything about financial and investments and other things. So most of the ladies, homemakers and you said the boss of the house are financially risk averse. They want to play safe, and when it comes to investment, especially in stocks, there are it's a risky proposition, and external factors like Ukraine war and all these things that are happening in the
Yes, yes.
Middle East, everything has a big impact on our investment, and there are chances that our investments can get wiped out.
Sir,
So
can I answer the
you
question directly, sir? Or no?
please.
Sir, there is a bank called a State Bank of India. Everyone has a bank account in that kind of bank. It is a public sector bank. All people keep their money there. They keep their money. They have savings account. They have FD account. They have RD account. They even open a locker in that bank. But when it comes to opening a demat account and buying one single share of State Bank of India, why are we thinking about that? Why do we feel
No,
that it is
no, it
risky?
is no, no. It is not from our perspective. It
Yeah,
is from the
exactly. So
spouse's
that is what
perspective.
financial literacy. There is something called as financial literacy, and there are many people who need information on that particular thing. So we need more experts to talk about those things to laymen, to everyone, so that people will know what are the different kinds of tools available for investment. So why equity is also important in the long run. How equity can create wealth in the long run. How power of compounding can help people in creating wealth. உலகில் ஏழல்ல அதிசயம் power of compounding எட்டாவது அதிசயமே. This is a statement by Albert Einstein. Power of compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, and we can create wealth only using power of compounding, and power of compounding will work only when we are consistent and keep doing it regularly. So if we invest for 20 years, just imagine investing a small amount of 1,000 rupees every month for the next 20 years. 1,000 rupees per month means in a year 12,000 rupees. In 20 years we will be investing just 2.4 lakhs. It's a very, very, very small amount. But if you see the kind of wealth at the end of 20 years, the huge corpus that gets created because of the power of compounding, that then we will know what is exactly the power of wealth creation in equities. So we need to have a lot more sessions on financial literacy, improving the knowledge of people on different kinds of financial products. So once we explain all those things, people who have doubts about equity investment, people who have fear about investing in the stock market, everyone will slowly they will learn, and then they will also be able to understand the importance of this kind of product, and they will definitely invest. Yes, there are scams, there were scams, there are many disturbing situations. When the subprime crisis emerged in US in 2008, we had a 50% fall in stock market here in India. But within the next 1 year, what happened? In 2008, yes, there was a 50% fall, but in 2009, what happened? So we need to go and look back into the history also. So history repeats itself. So there will be a lot of scams. There will be a lot of disturbing situations and scenarios in the economy, world economy. But still, when we keep investing continuously, regularly for the long term, we can definitely create wealth. We can beat inflation. So to beat inflation, definitely we have to go in for equity investments. Thank you.
How do you explain it to your spouse? That is the question Dr. Murali is asking. Yeah, we all know this. This all very common knowledge.
Very simple, sir. We just sit and discuss about this thing. We openly discuss. We discuss. There are lots of financial tools available. There are a lot of SIP calculators. There are a lot of EMI calculators. So if we use all those tools, everything is available on the internet. Everything is available free of cost. So we can just use those SIP calculator, EMI calculator, and we can tell them by using this EMI concept, banks are earning this power of compounding to their favor. But if we use SIP, systematic investment plan, we can use power of compounding for our benefit. We can create wealth. So if we postpone certain decisions, instead of buying something, especially instead of buying the second house, if we go in for equity investments, in the long term, we can create more than 15% returns. And that is always possible in Indian equity markets. It is definitely possible. And there were some quotes given by Arjun also about Warren Buffett and all. Thank you for sharing all this information. So be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. That is contra style. Definitely we have to follow that also. There are many more sharings in the comment section also. Greater cash inflows compared to
Sir, may
outflows.
I suggest that this session may continue if about the financial management, financial literacy in serious 1, 2, 3 like that. Every Sunday we can have financial management. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sure, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
You have taken much from your
Arjun, you would like to share
session.
anything?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So a few things that one point that I'd like to bring is you've talked about mutual funds having almost no risk, right? I'd like to give some evidence or some financial theory to back it up. In finance, if there's a theory, there's a limitation to diversification that says at minimum diversification should be around 20 to 25 different stocks or equities. And in those equities, we should have it across different companies in an industry and also different industries. You don't want to fall into the trap of diversification if you own 4 bank stocks or 25% each of your portfolio, and 4 are like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, or whatever public companies are. If the banking industry is hit, your portfolio will be smashed. But if you have 25% in the banking sector, 25% in healthcare at the minimum, and of course these can be adjusted to your own risk aversion, and with risk tolerances as age goes on, that should change. So for me as a young individual, I can absolutely crank up my risk level. I can afford to take huge losses, and I have in the past. I've had huge gains. So, and another point that people often are worried about in financial markets or equity markets is volatility. So volatility is when you were saying, right, in the subprime 2008 crash, COVID crash, 2020 crash, and any other recessions, it should be looked favorably. As you said, right, your current portfolio will take a hit. But if you have some backup capital in the form of gold, savings, or even extra income, there's 2 ways. One risky, high reward, high risk way would be to get a put option. So don't short the market. That will leave you to unlimited upside. You buy a put option on the S&P 500 or the India top 500 ETF. And if the market entirely drops and you're sure that with COVID, the market is going to drop, and it has, you can make a lot of money with limited risk. So a put option will only cost 100 to 500, maybe $1,000. But the upside on a put option, if you can get your hands, is in the hundreds of percent. Like at minimum, it will be 20 to 100 and more than 100%. So that's one way. And so for me personally, I saw the COVID market crash as an opportunity to buy stocks, improve my equity market. But unfortunately, I was too young. So I hope to see another market crash if I'm not not pessimistic. And that's a great opportunity to invest in. Don't invest in the companies that are prone to being bankrupt, but you can stick with your major plays. In the US, it could be the ETF, or it could be buying these blue chip stocks such as Alphabet, Amazon, Google, Apple, and so forth, or even in other sectors. So that's just what I'd like to share. So thank you so much for the opportunity, Vida sir, and everyone else.
Thank you for sharing, Arjun. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, everyone. I think will you be able to carry out our manually session, sir? This is 7:20.
Yeah, yeah. We have 10 minutes. We didn't have the opportunity, so let us at least go through the introduction of